4:30 p.m. Damn, not sunlight anymore. The day is basically over. Well, today I was expecting more like a nice, warm, sunny day because basically spring is here in Vienna. According to the forecast, in Vienna is spring. And yeah, we had a couple of warm days last week, a couple of sunny days, but today, oh my God, it's been raining the whole day. The day is kind of grayish, it's kind of windy, but we still love it. And finally, today we're going to talk about a topic that I wanted to mention a couple months ago, actually. And I think that now is the time. Now is the time to walk around, having a one-on-one conversation about this because this needs to be said, and I'm going to say it. By the way, if this is your first time in this channel, nice to meet you. My name is Daniel. I'm Colombian. It's been like 11 years, me around Europe, different countries, different cities, different experiences. And the last 2 years I've been here in the beautiful city of Vienna. Yep, and talking about Vienna, Vienna has been such an amazing place, but there are a couple of things that I wish I knew before I came to Vienna. There are a couple of things that nobody talk about. If you have traveled, you know what I'm talking about. One thing is what you see in pictures, in videos, but once you travel to the place, you find out that that's a different world. Sometimes there is a real reality. It's a different reality. There are new rules, new information, things that nobody talked to you about. By the way, I'm in a park that really is in the center of the city. We are very close to the main center. This is called Stadt Park. Beautiful park. There is a lake in the center with dogs and birds just swimming and flying around. Now it's spring and you can see also the cherry blossom trees all around, beautiful gardens. And I think that this is going to be our destination for today. We're going to have a conversation while walking around this park. So my dears, these are things that I wish I knew before moving to Vienna. Let's go. So I'm going to start with one that is very fun to talk about because I feel it's kind of funny but embarrassing. Guys, I never knew how bad my modals were until I came to Vienna. And by modals, I mean like manners on the table, for example. Because the stereotype, Vienna is very stylish, the royal families and all this kind of, castle and princesses and all this tradition of being super refined on the table. And somehow it's true. And I started feeling this while just going out for dinner with friends. Literally, there were some cases where I had like 3 different spoons, 3 different knives, like 10 forks. I was like, how the heck do you use this? I'm sorry. I mean, even though it's not my fault completely, I do think that this thing about manners, kind of etiquette, a little bit of etiquette without like over exaggerating, but some very basic steps into etiquette of how to behave and to use all the silverware, all the cutlery on a table. I think that this is something that we all should learn at home. And I was obviously just there chilling, watching everyone. So I saw somebody taking a small spoon. I took the small spoon. Somebody was eating in a certain way. I was trying to kind of replicate, I was trying to mimicry, like whatever they were doing. It's kind of a crash course into manners. Mostly table manners. So now this is not just about Vienna, probably many other cities as well. If you are at home, if you don't know anything about manners at the table, like different spoons, different forks, different glasses, different glasses for different like alcohol drinks, like champagne and wine and sparkling whatever. There are different glasses for all those different drinks. It's not that bad if you learn a couple of the things. Just saying. Another thing that was more like a cultural shock. I never knew how expensive Vienna was until I came to Vienna. Yes, I heard the stories. Yes, I knew, what people said about Vienna, that it was a very fancy place, that you would spend a lot and stuff. And I was doing my calculations, but they were somehow wrong. Oh, this is a good spot. Look at this. So if you allow me, this is one of the best advices that I can give you ever. At home, before traveling, before relocating to a new place, you have to do realistic calculations about money. And this is not about translating money. If I translate euros or my salary here in Vienna or what I spent in Vienna or, the cost of a coffee, the cost of a cappuccino in Vienna, the cost of a piece of bread, into Colombian pesos, everything is going to sound like 3, 4, 5 times bigger, more expensive. How do you do this? Everything comes down to the salary. You have to take the salary and then the calculations have to be based on the salary. How much on food, how much on rent, how much on... do not translate money, because that was something that I was doing all the time. Obviously, my mind was in Colombian pesos. Came to Europe, I was translating literally everything, and some things don't match. So you have to change your switch. If you are in euros, think in euros, spend in euros, do the calculations in euros. Coming back to the main topic, there is one thing that I wish somebody had told me before, because this one was a slap in the face, honestly. Here in Vienna, you might have expenses, anywhere actually. You have different taxes, you have different things that you have to pay, on the way. Sometimes when you are signing your house contract for the very first time, you have to pay extra for the paperwork and some extra taxes, whatever things. There is always some money that's going to just, come and go on the way, that's how it is. Here in Vienna, there is one thing that really, for me, was shocking. It was surprising. I was like, how? Here you have to pay a tax that is for radio and television. Radio and television. Literally, nobody from my generation, none of my friends, none of the people that I have here, friends and stuff, nobody has a television. Nobody watches television. If I want to watch something, I just go to, I don't know, Netflix and YouTube. I just stream a movie, but nobody has a television. Also, who has a radio? Who has a radio? Like literally nobody. Literally nobody. Who has a radio? Nobody. Nobody. I have to check again because it's something like 200 euros. 200 euros that literally I feel that is just been thrown to the garbage. Boom, to the toilet. Like 200 euros that they go to the toilet. Maybe I don't know if I'm saying the right like amount. I'm gonna check it out. I think it's something around 200 euros or about 200 euros. But this is literally money that it comes out of my pocket, out of my salary, to the garbage. Now, this is not my first time traveling around, so I do know how to deal with, I don't know, get integrated with groups, like mingling in society, getting to know friends. I'm very open-minded in that sense, but nobody ever told me that people in Vienna, at least groups, are so hard to penetrate, are really, really hard. And I guess I mentioned it in some video before. The main issue is that some people here, they know each other from kindergarten. They are like high school mates. So they have a circle of trust that is kind of very, very close, that sometimes it's very hard to penetrate as a foreigner. But anyway, this is not my case. But if I can tell you something that you should know before coming to places like Vienna, is that there are many things and groups to join. Arts like pottery, like painting, poetry, reading, language exchanges. There are people who are just meeting for fun. They are just expats, like people who just relocated in Vienna and they are just meeting for fun, to have a drink, to get to know each other. That's the way you can get to know people. Go to Facebook groups. There are groups for jogging, riding bicycle, going swimming. There are so many things. So if I can tell you something that you should know anytime that you go, not only to Vienna, but anywhere, join groups. Something that I wish I knew before coming to Vienna was about transportation, or a little bit more about transportation. Yes, of course, you have to pay a ticket. No, in Vienna, when you enter a station, you don't have any barrier. Literally, you can just go in without a ticket. You should not do that because then you're going to pay a fine. Something around 100 euros. Yeah, I'm right about that one because I had to pay it once. Sometimes you don't know when you have the ticket controllers. These officers, they ask you for a ticket and stuff like that. If you don't have one, instantly, without asking you for explanations, nothing. They don't ask you anything, no questions, nothing. The only thing they do is they pull out a paper with the fine and they say, cash or card, 100 euros. You don't want to do that. The thing that I wanted to mention that I wish I knew earlier is that, look, the ticket here in Vienna is 2.40 euros per ride, okay? Per ride. If you buy like the day ticket, the weekly ticket, monthly ticket, but nobody ever really talked to me about that. Recently, a colleague was telling me about it, and there is something called the Jahres card, which is like the year card. The year card is something around like 300 euros or something like that. So basically, it's something around 1 euro per day. That's kind of the price. But then I was like, yeah, but what about those months in summer when I'm using my bike everywhere? I'm not really using the underground. I'm not using buses. I'm not using the trams. So why would I need that? And well, the answer is very simple. That calculation is also wrong. Then I got my math right. Because with that card, you are not paying 1 euro per ride. You are paying 1 euro per day, which means that you can ride all day long and it's 1 euro. I can literally ride all day long using all public transportation. And then it's like, what about if I ride, I don't know, 20 times, 20 rides per day? I wish I knew this earlier, at least in my first year. And for sure, I would have saved a lot of money. Plus the ticket, the fine that I had to pay because I was caught one day. You know, it was 100 one day that I was riding without a ticket, which I will never do again. Now, there is one more thing that makes me sad. The German language, Deutsch. The way ich lerne Deutsch, ich heiße Daniel, ich liebe dich. No, I'm not joking. You know that before coming to Vienna, I was living in Berlin. And I was already having a taste of the German language. I was already learning some phrases and idioms and sentences and verbs and some slang and everything for nothing. Then I come to Vienna and it's like a different thing, a different language. Even in my German course, because I'm going to an institute to learn, they are like, oh, this is German, but we don't say that in Austria. And I'm like, what? And actually not just Austria, here in the city of Vienna, we say it differently. And then I'm like, what do you mean here in the city of Vienna? Yes, my dears, this is a crazy country in terms of language. There are some cities, you know, from city to city, language, like German language, can change so much that they no longer understand each other. That is crazy. Some people are like, oh, I'm from this little town, and they start speaking German, and the rest of the Austrian people, they're like, can you please speak like standard German, because we don't get anything, not one word. And then it's me in the corner, just like, literally, I'm just quiet and I just listen. Now, this one is crazy. Wish I would have known before coming here that the topic about schnitzel is just forbidden. Do not engage any conversation in which you are discussing the origins of schnitzel. As I understand, you're going to say, oh, check Google. They say that a schnitzel is from Germany. But you are always going to find people who are going to say that the first recipe, the first grandma ever who made schnitzel was an Austrian babushka, an Austrian Oma, Austrian grandma. Just eat your schnitzel, be happy, smile, say that it's delicious, but just don't discuss it. Just art. Don't judge. We look and don't judge. Or maybe one of those things that I should have said before is weather. Weather, even right now. Like it was kind of grayish, kind of warm. But now it's raining. Now it's raining. I'm not prepared. I don't have an umbrella. I have nothing. And now it's raining. You know, another one is that weather in Vienna is just unpredictable. Just like your ex-boyfriend. All right, last but not least, one fact that's going to blow your mind. So, Second World War. We have this little guy who was destroying everyone and everything with the little mustache. You know who I'm talking about. I always thought that he was from Germany. I literally, all my life, I was taught and I learned and I always just knew that he was from Germany. He's from Austria. there was this day that I was talking to some people. We were talking about the Second World War, and they just mentioned that fact, and I just kind of asked about it, and they told me, like, yeah, this is something that we are not proud about. We never talked about it. We just don't mention it. But yeah, this guy with the funny mustache was from Austria. And well, last but not least, supermarkets. Supermarkets. Yes, I lived in Poland, in Berlin, in England, but and I wish that somebody would have told me before. Supermarkets close super early. In regular days, something around 7 is the time, the standard time where supermarkets close. Simple, I got it. But then we come to the weekends. Man, on Saturdays at 6 p.m. they close. 6 p.m. And on Sundays, just in case you wonder, closed, shut down, no chance to buy bread or milk, nothing. That's it. I don't want to be over dramatic, but yeah, on the weekends, it's so hard because you want to buy your things on Fridays. That's the thing. Try to buy everything on Fridays because on Saturdays, it seems that everyone, even Austrians, they forget about it. They forget about the fact that they close everything at 6. I mean, supermarkets at 6 p.m. So something around 5, 4, 3, everything is packed, ultra packed, super packed. You have to stay in, you have to stay in the queue for a long time with your groceries. So please, you don't want to do that. And don't forget. And even worse, when you have a Monday, there is a bank holiday. You really have to make sure that you have everything from Friday. My dears, thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, because that's gonna help me a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video, and well, I will see you very soon. Peace.